Today, we're taking a deep dive into the engine room of the human body to talk all about macronutrients. You know, these are the fundamental fuels that power absolutely everything we do, from just lying on the couch to hitting a new personal best in a sprint. So, how does our body actually use all this fuel? Well, let's get into it.
Have you ever been out for a long run or maybe in the middle of a tough workout and just bam, it feels like your energy completely vanishes? That feeling is what people call hitting the wall. And let me tell you, it's not just in your head. It's a very real physiological thing. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens by exploring the science of how our bodies are fueled. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get introduced to our three main fuel sources. Then we're going to look at the specific jobs of carbs, fats, and protein. And finally, we'll see how your body is smart enough to use all of them together in action.
All right, first things first, let's meet the key players in this story. We call them macronutrients, and for a simple reason. Macro just means large. These are the nutrients your body needs in pretty big amounts to keep everything running smoothly.
So what exactly are they? Well, to put it simply, macronutrients are the nutrients that give us the energy we measure in calories. And the big three, as you can see, are carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. You can really think of them as the foundational building blocks for every single thing your body does.
This little chart gives us a fantastic quick summary. Now I want you to notice something interesting. Both carbs and fats are listed as a primary source for fuel and energy. But look at protein. Its main job is structure. We're going to dig into that difference, but for now, you can see they all come from common foods that we eat every single day.
Okay, so let's start with the first one, carbohydrates. If you want to think about these in simple terms, think of them as your body's go-to source for quick, easy-to-access energy.
And here's the number to remember for carbs. Every single gram of carbohydrate provides about 4.1 kilocalories of energy. And a kilocalorie, that's just what we call a calorie when we're talking about food. So keep that number, around 4, in your head. It's going to be important when we compare it to our other macros in a minute.
Now, our bodies are incredibly smart. They don't like to waste fuel. Any extra carbs that we eat get converted and stored as something called glycogen, and we keep that mostly in our muscles and our liver. It's kind of like our readily available onboard fuel tank. But, and this is super important, that fuel tank is small. The supply is very much limited.
And this brings us right back to that question from the beginning. Hitting the wall is quite literally your body running out of its stored glycogen. When that small fuel tank is empty, your performance just tanks. It's your body's emergency brake, signaling that its fast-acting fuel source is gone.
But what happens when that fast fuel runs low? Or what if we're just cruising along at a lower intensity? Well, that's where our next macronutrient steps in. Fat. This is the body's endurance fuel.
Okay, remember that number for carbs? It was about 4 kilocalories per gram. Well, check this out. Fat delivers a whopping 9 kilocalories per gram. That is more than double the energy. This incredible energy density is exactly why fat is our body's ultimate long-term fuel reserve.
This chart just perfectly illustrates the trade-off, doesn't it? Carbs are your fast fuel. They're ideal for a sprint. Fats, on the other hand, are this dense, slow-burning fuel, which is perfect for a long, steady walk. Your body is smart, and it intelligently switches between them depending on how hard you're working.
But fat is so much more than just an energy source. It also cushions our vital organs, it helps keep us warm, and it's absolutely essential for producing hormones and building healthy cells. It is a true multitasker in the body.
And that brings us to our final macronutrient, protein. Now, while protein can be used for fuel, that's not really its main job. Protein is first and foremost the master builder of the body.
Now, this is a really critical distinction. Your body has those glycogen tanks for carbs, and it has fat tissue for, well, fat. But it has no dedicated storage facility for protein. Every bit of protein in your body already has a job to do, whether it's in your muscles, your blood, or your skin. And this is exactly why getting a regular, daily intake of protein is so important.
I mean, just look at this list. The range of functions here is incredible. Protein provides our physical structure, it transports vital substances, and it even defends us from getting sick by forming antibodies. And yeah, it can be used for energy, it provides the same 4.1 kilocalories per gram as carbs, but that's really its last resort backup plan.
Okay, so we've met the players, we know what carbs, fats, and proteins are. Now let's see how they work together as a team. How does your body actually decide which fuel to burn and when?
This energy continuum really shows off the genius of our bodies. When you're just resting, maybe sitting on the couch, you're primarily burning fat.
Then you get up for a light walk, and you're using a mix of fats and carbs. But as you start to ramp up that intensity, from a jog all the way to an all-out sprint, your body switches its preference almost entirely to those fast-acting carbohydrates. It's a perfectly dynamic and intelligent system.
So how does all of this stuff, carbs, fats, protein, actually become usable energy? Well, it pretty much boils down to a four-step process. You eat the macros, your body breaks them down, and then, through a bunch of chemical reactions, it creates this incredible molecule called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. ATP is the true energy currency of your cells. It's what actually powers every single muscle twitch and every cellular job in your body. So after all this, what's the most important thing to take away? It's that there is no single magic formula. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. The right fuel mix for you depends on your activity level, your age, your goals, so many different things. Your nutritional needs are completely and totally unique to you. So now that you're armed with this knowledge of how your body is fueled, the real question becomes a personal one. What's the optimal mix of carbs, fats, and protein for your body and for what you want to achieve? You should think of your own life as an experiment of one. What fuel does your engine need to perform at its best?